these games, like the one I'm about to show you, only work for 10 because it's a 10 frame, or it involves fingers where you always have 10. But some of the games can work for other numbers as well. So I can use a regular die and talk about friends of 6. 3 and 3 make 6. 2 and 4 make 6, and so on. Or I could use this regular die and talk about friends of 7. 6 and 1 make 7. 3 and 4 make 7, and so on. Of course, you can always roll 2 dice together as well and do just basic addition. 5 and 2 make, that happens to be 7. There we go. I rolled a friend of 7. Alternatively, if I want to use my same 10-sided die, I can actually talk about 7s here as well. So I just rolled a 9. So I'd say 9 minus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 0 is 7, and so on. I like that idea. Then if you roll an 8, 8 minus 1 is 7, and so on. Lots of ideas. So in this game with the 10 frame cards, it's called I Wish I Had 10. So I'm going to shuffle these. And when I show a card, the idea is you're going to say how many it wishes it had to get to 10. So I'm going to show this one. And the answer is 3. 7 wishes 3. You can say it in a variety of ways. 8. 7. I kind of prefer it if it's up this way, but oh well. 4. 0. 5. 6. Now it gets a little tricky because the number I'm saying out loud is not actually the number that's being represented. It's the number it wants. So you could also slow it down and say 4 and 6 make 10. 9 and 1 make 10. 8 and 2 make 10, and so on. Now, lastly, I just want to point out there's 2 kind of ways to think about this, right? I could look and I could see the 8, and I could know in my mind that 8 and 2 more make 10 because I've memorized that. Or I can really look and see that the number of filled frames plus the number of empty frames is always equal to 10 frames altogether. And so here's I talked about that briefly for another game. And so I could look and see 8 and know that it wants 2 because I also see 2 empty here. So my point is I know that the friend of 8 is 2, not just because I've memorized that 8 and 2 is 10, but also because I see that it wants 2. It wishes it had 2. There's that kind of hole that makes it very visual to see how many are missing, which makes this activity, I think, especially helpful for talking about friends of 10. And lastly, 1 and 9 make 10. And there we go.